Welcome back, everyone, to the Intel Extreme Masters in Shenzhen, China. We are now towards the last segment of the group stages. Find out who will be rounding out the group, or the round of 8, rather, the quarterfinals, and we will be moving into the winner's match. Of course, I am joined by Apollo and Pig. Pig had a little bit of an accident during the break. He has an eye patch now.
You all right, Pig?
Yeah,
you know, it's pretty nasty. I don't want to show you guys. I'm a little bit ashamed. But
all right. Can you see all right, though? Can you see all right out of your other eye?
Well, it's not really vision from my eye, but I can sense things around me already. I feel like the other senses are starting to pick up a little bit. I'm starting to feel people's presence. It's not too bad.
Yeah, that kind of, the human body kind of works like that.
Yeah, I mean,
if you lose one of the senses, the others become stronger.
Yeah, thank you for the deep scientific facts, Sean. I mean, we really rely on you for your expertise in science.
That's what I'm on the desk for, mate.
Yeah, you just got to be an expert in something, right?
Well, it's clearly not StarCraft, is it?
Well, I don't know what I'm here for then, but...
translating joke.
Oh, right, thank you. Yeah, right. That's all I'm good for here on the desk. But we are now towards the last segments of Group D. Who will clinch that #1 spot? We talked about this a little bit before, but #1 and #2, I mean, does it actually really matter anymore given who's moved through? Right now it's between XY and Parting here, vying for #1 in Group D.
Yeah, so we got, in first place was Lucera. In first place. Group B was Snoot. So, to be honest, I'd like to be second. Because second place is TY in Classic. That's really hard.
Yeah, but then what if you draw a hero? If you drop down to second place,
that's
right?
the problem.
Hero just throws everything off.
I don't know if you agree with me, Pig, but I think Snoot said it well, is that once you reach the top 8, there is slight, sometimes, advantages and disadvantages, but the player's skill is so high anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's all about going through to the next stage. I mean, yeah, you get through every now and then, you're like, oh, cool, I got the guy who got second in his group because he got cheesed out or he got surprised by a build, but he's like my kryptonite. You never know what you're going to go up against. Hey, Sean, it's nice to feel you close to me.
Oh,
thanks, buddy.
Okay. Well, you know, I'll keep my head turned a little bit. You know, we do have Pig just learning to use his other sense a little bit, the sense of touch.
Apparently so, yeah.
So Pig, if you had to choose, all right, if you had to choose one of your other senses getting stronger, I mean, what is your preference? Do you prefer the sense of smell, taste? Maybe you're a foodie. Maybe you want to make sure you can get all, figure out all the ingredients in a gourmet dish.
I think smell would be the coolest. You could hunt people down. You could get a job as like a dog that like is used to hunt criminals. So
okay, so all right, you want to become a hound, all right?
Yeah, you could also find like the best food within a few miles just by smelling it.
It's true. I do agree. I think smell is pretty good.
It's a good one.
Smell is pretty cool. Yeah. Now on stage though, we do have XY or Shy. What's the correct pronunciation?
Shy.
All right, so Shy.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him on the main stage yet, but he does move onward into this match, taking Beastork down 2-0. I don't think too many people are surprised from that result, but this is where he has to show his stuff, right?
Well, he has to. He's the last remaining Chinese player now that Jim's been eliminated, so it's always good to have a Chinese player move through to the quarterfinals, but it's not going to be easy. No doubt, of course, it's Parting big boy. But Shy, there's a chance. It's the same percentage and same probability, I would say, that Kelazor had, which is low, but there's a chance.
I'm actually going to say I think he has a bit more of a chance than Kelazor.
Fine.
Okay.
Why is that? A lot of people don't know a lot about Shy. A lot of people know him as XY. But Shy, he's this really player who went under the radar for the longest time, and for the most part, he still does. He's quite isolated, obviously, in the Chinese scene for us guys watching the kind of European scene mostly. But he's actually had a few surprising runs in the last year or so in online qualifiers for IEMs, Oli Molig, a few of these online tournaments where he's actually knocked out like multiple like top 8 GSL, top-level Korean players, especially in TvP. His TvZ, not quite as strong, but his TvP has been sick.
All right. Well, on the other hand, though, right? Sure, we can say, like, all right, he has a better chance than Kelazor, but it is Parting big boy. I mean, he calls himself a big boy for a very good reason, and he just said, yeah, I'm a little bit under condition and, under the weather, rather, a little bit, but I feel good after winning. I'm going to make sure I don't get ahead of myself. I'll try to go out in first place in Group D.
Yeah, I think Parting's a clear favorite, like, just as much as Hero was for Group C. And he's challenging for the title. He's had 2 semi-finals in the past, and I think he's here for business this time. There'll be pleasure on Sunday night, no doubt, but it is pure business until the tournament's finished. In first place, anything other than that's going to be a disappointment for Parting this event.
Yeah, partying. I mean, he said it himself after he lost to Hero back in Korea. He was like, all right, I didn't feel too good. It was really on me when I reviewed it. It was my mistakes. I got too ahead of myself. But I know after that, as long as I reel it in, I know I can beat him anytime. Yeah, that's some strong words. But, you know, Hero was saying, too, that he was going to become the 4-time Intel Extreme Master Champion. So there might be a little bit of rivalry between those two. But it's time to find out. Partying, is he really up for the job? If he goes up, again, 2-0 here, I think we can really hope for another strong showing in the round of 8 for that guy. But Shy, he needs to make sure that a Chinese player gets into that quarterfinal so that they can still have some home ground representation here in Shenzhen in the Intel Extreme Masters Season 10. To bring us the winner's match over on the casting desk, it will be Artosis and Rotterdam.
Thank you so much, you guys. First off, I have to say, you guys look like clowns over there, but myself and my friend Rotterdam here, we are going to cast this game. It's going to be fantastic. And what map is it, Rotterdam, if you could read that for me real quick?
I actually have absolutely no idea, but as soon as we are really loaded into the game, I will tell you all about it. Parting looked really good in his previous round. I have no idea how he currently looks, but I'm pretty sure that we'll have some answers for you in just a couple of minutes. How are you, Artie McTosis?
I'm doing fantastically here, and I gotta say I disagree with Pig quite a bit about the power of smell. I think that would be a curse to have a great power of smell. But looks like the game has started, and we're gonna go ahead and you know, if it was a TVZ, I'd keep the blindfold on
for the first 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, and I would cast it flawlessly. You just tell me the positions here on the map, and I will literally get it down to the second. But here we are, and in the top left, our Terran player from China, it is Shy.
One of the oldest players, or maybe the oldest player in this tournament.
28 years old.
That is actually my age. Do you know how long it's been since I've casted someone?
No chance if he's as old as you.
Yeah. Wow.
That's okay, I'm 32.
That kind of hurts, man.
In the bottom right, our Protoss player, the big boy himself, Parting.
All right, so the map is going to be Terraform. We've already seen a game on Terraform, actually a couple of games. Jim played against Uterma on this map, and Parting also played against Kalazur on this map. Now XY, or Shy, just to go on about what Pig said, he actually has really good TvP going by his track record. Just this year, a couple months ago, he finished second in the Chinese G League, one of the most prestigious tournaments in China. He 2-0'd Zion, who Uterma, by the way, said was pretty damn good. He said, I think Zion has better mechanics than Jim. Jim just has more of a killer instinct. But he 2-0'd Zion, and then he 3-0'd Jim in the semifinal. So XY 5-0 against his fellow Chinese Protoss players. That must mean that this guy absolutely knows what he's going to do in this matchup.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty curious to see if he can give Parting a run for his money.
You know what? That really makes a lot of sense as well. If we look back to some of the early great TVPers in Korea, even like Jokchi. Remember when Jokchi was really great at TVP? It was because NS Hoso had so many Protosses. Well, the Chinese scene, most of the top players are Protoss, like Mixed, Jim, Cyan, as you say. There's a few others in there as well. Yeah. I mean, it's a very Protoss-heavy scene, so it makes sense that he would have very strong TVP. And I tell you what, I would like to see him go through as much as I'd like to see Kalazur go through, being from Root and all. I love the story of having a local. Someone from their home country that the crowd can really get behind cheering for.
Maybe both, and Parting will get knocked out.
Ooh, that would be crazy.
All right, so if people wonder at home, why is he keeping the Reaper at home? That doesn't make any sense. Well, a lot of Protoss players do. I think actually Liquid Hero was one of the very first ones to do that. You drop your Nexus, then you start scouting, or after the core, you start scouting with your probe, and then you tuck it away in a corner, and once the Reaper shows up in your main base, or a little bit before that, normally at 3 minutes, 50 seconds, 3 minutes, 55 seconds, you send your probe into the natural. We are ready to continue this game, as we can see that the factory is being built on the other side of... Wow, this is such a crazy build by Shy. It's a proxy factory, but with a double CC follow-up. Are you kidding me, Parting?
That's pretty crazy, but right now there's no Robo on the way, so even just walking in Widow Mines could kind of delay him a little bit, especially if he draws his attention with a Reaper in the main.
Maybe he's been paying attention to the games that Parting played. He's like, hey man, your detection was kind of late against Kalazur. Like, yeah, your aggression was relentless, but at home, it looked a little susceptible. And I kind of hate playing against styles. Well, it's a Dark Shrine as well for Parting, which means that detection is going to be even later. Darkshrine is actually not that great against triple command center because there's going to be a ridiculous amount of energy. Parting probably should activate Photon Overcharge because this mine is making its way into the mineral line and it's going to stay there for a very long time.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty annoying one. Starts the Robo up now. I think he was probably going to get it pretty quick anyways, but that was a nice scout. I believe that he saw that.
I think he saw the Darkshrine. Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I just checked.
But did he really see it?
Well,
Kind of looks like a pun.
I mean, that, yeah, it is the size of a pylon, but I think that you can just
oh,
look
you're
at
going to
that
get a
and-
stalker. For sure. Bum.
Wow.
Headshot.
So far, pretty effective. And look, this Widowmine's going to reload, get another shot.
He's going to get a good one as well.
Whoa! 4 probes!
4 probes, a stalker, and still 2 mines there with no observer out yet,
Dude,
most likely.
Shy is wrecking face right now. He's ahead in every way.
He's in such a phenomenal position, especially because of that triple command center opening. He's even getting a missed third, so he did see it. He did click on it. He's like, yeah, that's not a pylon. That's way too tall to be a pylon. Tosis,
Way too tall.
why aren't you in 6th City right now?
Oh God, I know this meme too. Why aren't you in 6th City with
your pro gamer jacket?
and the pylon or something like that? Why is your pylon so big?
We love Twitch.
Good old guy in the chat.
Yeah.
Well, we do have the DT sneaking in. Looks like he is going to get some damage here, despite that missile turret just absolutely not ready for them to run by. Killing off a couple Marines here in the main base, and nothing for detection up there. Wow, this is actually a pretty big deal for Parting.
That went so much better for Parting than it ever should have been. When normally when there's a missile turret in, don't lose your tech lab. Come on, mate. Get a couple of SUVs.
Canceling stim is it's unacceptable. This is how you lose games, is Terran, 100%.
Yeah, and he just got it. He just got the stim pack.
Oh,
Wow.
I feel bad. I wanted another upset, but like that's the biggest deal ever to kill the tech lab that has stim halfway done.
And 9 SCVs as well. 9 SCVs and the tech lab with stim halfway down.
Oh my
Parting is now
God.
up 16 workers. Oh man, it's so unfortunate for Shy. Maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself. He's like, man, this is all going so well. This is ridiculous. I'm completely shrekking Parting over here. And then suddenly 2 Dark Templars just run by the defenses that you had in the right place.
Yeah. Do you know what? I think that a big part of it is the fact that this is a new map, so he probably hasn't played against someone that built that pylon there for a quick DT rush.
No.
This happens a lot on new maps. In the very first pro games that we see on new maps, or the very early first month or so, we always see games like this where it's like, oh, I didn't think of that pylon there because I haven't played against it yet, and then the player loses.
I actually hadn't seen it yet either. And I've seen quite a few games on Terraform. And unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to figure it out myself because I've played a lot of games on this map. But I'm just not a DT type of guy.
No, that's true, you know. Much more of a Void Ray type of guy, aren't you?
Nah, in Wings of Liberty days, those days are long gone. It's all about the Tempest in this day.
Of course, of course.
Another Dark Templar will be unloaded into the main base. It's extremely frustrating. There is a missile turret there, though, so there's quite a bit of detection. He can throw down one more scan. The Warp Prism is going to try to pick it up. That's really good by Shai that he didn't scan and then burn the scan and then still doesn't get the Dark Templar. So at least he got something there.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you know what I can tell from this game is that Shy is really, really strong in this matchup, as you were saying. It's a little bit unfortunate that Pylon kind of caught him so off guard, because every other move he's made this game has been spot on.
Yep, absolutely. I'm just going to take a look at the APM real quick. Kind of wondering what kind of speed this guy plays at. It's, 160 average, and there hasn't really been a whole lot of action yet. Most of the time when actually the dropping phase in the game starts, it will probably spike up to 180, 190. Parting is always ridiculously fast, but...
Yeah, well, the thing is, that is one thing that maybe you can attribute to age, is as you get older, you're not quite as fast as you once were.
Do you believe in that, though?
Not really.
Me neither. I mean, unless you're
I'm
like
not
39
as fast as I was,
or something.
but I was a StarCraft 1 Terran, now I'm a StarCraft 2 Protoss. I mean, how much APM you need for that RDM, you know what I mean?
Hey. It's pretty hard to do Protoss in this day and age, man.
It is.
It's like you look at these guys parting Rain, and like on one hand you're a really big fan of them, on the other hand you're just like, I hate you guys for making my race look so strong. Because whenever I play Protoss, my games don't look like your
Oh,
games.
certainly not.
It's disgusting. All right, so Shai is going to pick up a couple of medevacts. He's going to boost across the map. The problem is that Parting has most of the pieces in the right place. Take a look at his observers. He has 3 observers out on the map right now. I am a little bit surprised that he doesn't put the observers on patrol. I think one of the main reasons why is that some pro players feel if you put them on patrol, you give it away more easily, that there is an observer, so Terrans will either scan and kill it or avoid it. But when you put them on patrol, you do see so much more though.
Yeah, that is it's a little trade-off for sure.
Yeah.
So far, though, he's got really good map vision. Doesn't look like anything can really catch him off guard here. But Shy is getting up his third base. The thing is, has Parting been hurt enough, really? I mean, no, none of this harassment's really doing much yet.
It's very difficult, though, because this harass came more than a minute later than it was supposed to come. He's going to try to sandwich a couple of these stalkers, but he just doesn't have the numbers right now to fight against 2 Colossus and a bunch of sentries, Guardian Shield, and Force Fields.
Yeah, you named everything right there. I mean, that's a tough one. He can't really do any damage. You know, canceling that stim, killing that many SCVs early on, it's such a brutal thing to have happen.
I can't believe he took his comments in there. It's actually a very difficult base to defend. There can just be Colossus standing on the inner side of the mineral line, and they will zap everything away. Parting instead is coming from the top side. He still has that War Prism alive as well, which is going to make it very easy for Parting to reinforce his army. He already has Blink as well. I just don't know. What are you supposed to do right now if you're Shy?
Well, this CC, there's no way that you can really save it. As you say, oh, that's a lot of full mules too. That is completely brutal. But that was kind of a risky one to take. I think you just back up, you make an arc, and you hope. But he's down in supply significantly by like almost 20.
Yeah, he's
which in this matchup you can't be down in 20 right now.
Especially not when you don't really have the Viking numbers that you need. He's going to have 6 Vikings soon to fight against Colossus. That is sort of something he can work with. If you can get 10 Vikings, because he is producing 4 at a time. With 10 Vikings, I actually believe that Shy can probably kill this army, but will Parting give him the time to ever get 10 Vikings out?
Oh, no, I don't think so. He already has charge as well, so he should be able to crush right through this. Just target those Colossi on that top ball. In fact, he did it for a little bit there, which gives him more of a chance, but going to take a lot of damage coming forward here. More Zealots trying to come in. Force Field actually blocking his own Zealots, but pushing everything else back as well.
Guardian Shield's so good in these phases in the game, and even though Parting is losing a lot now, the reinforcements are coming in once more, and like you mentioned, those Zealots have charge, and Zealots with charge are very, very scary for a Terran player to deal with. These Stalkers right now, free reign over the Medevacs, over the Vikings, and that's often the beginning of the end.
Yes, in fact, possibly the end of the end here. It looks like Shy is dead. GG! And Parting going to take game number 1 in a pretty convincing fashion. But that was after the DTs got in, when on a map that Shy's already played like a lot of times, that probably wouldn't have happened. And I actually think that Shy was in a great spot until that.
I'm going to be completely honest with you here. I haven't seen that yet on this map.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that pylon being built. I did not know that you could warp in Dark Templars behind enemy lines like that. Maybe they've done it over the weekend at DreamHack Valencia. I don't know. We weren't able to watch it. But for now, Parting is up 1-0 over Shy. And when we're back, we will continue with the winners match of Group D. Alrighty, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Shenzhen, day 2 of the group stage gameplay. We are in the final group. We already know 6 out of the 8 players that will be represented in our little StarCraft tournament tomorrow. That's going to be such an amazing day. I'm actually super pumped for the playoffs, but now I'm even more pumped for all these beautiful cosplay outfits.
I knew you would be. Well, we do have game 1 finished between Shy and Parting.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, Shy actually opened way better than Parting, to be honest. Parting got him with some sneak DTs that Shy knew was coming, but...
Have you seen it yet, the pylon there?
No, I haven't seen that yet, so...
Do you think it's fair?
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. As long as you know that that can exist, you can stop it. Like, if he knew that... that was a thought... like, for instance, Shy is not going to lose another game that looks like that ever on that map. And that's just the thing. It's the first time it hits you. That's a one-time thing.
I think
and Parting picks up a win that Shy absolutely could have been so far ahead. I don't know if he would have won, but he was in a great spot.
I think he would have won there. If he doesn't lose 10 SUVs in Stim, I think he's going to win.
Yeah.
If you're up in Workers while you're going 3CC and the guy's going Dark Templars and you have missile turrets in place, that is more than a dream scenario. There is no Terran in the world who wouldn't want to be Shy up to the moment where those DTs started going to town.
Totally, totally. Well, it looks like we're ready for our next game. Game number 2. Yeah, that's what we call the next game, the second game number 2. Here we go, guys. Here on Bridgehead, over on the left side of the map. It is our last Chinese player. It is Shy.
A man with no fear as he's going up against one of the craziest Protoss players in the world on Bridgehead. Quite arguably the craziest map we've ever seen in StarCraft 2 history.
His opponent over on the right-hand side, it is Parting.
He is that.
You think it's the craziest map we've ever seen in StarCraft 2?
Maybe not the craziest map, but
Okay.
it's definitely out there, you know? Like even the main ramp into your main base is already different. It's slightly bigger than one force field. And then instead of one pair of destructible rocks, we've got 2 pairs of destructible rocks.
I know, right?
And we've got a proxy 10 gate on this crazy map, Kalaris.
I don't know, Kev. Well, he might well do.
Yeah. I mean, at least good news for Shy is that he's not opening up with a command center first. That is something that you can work with. Yeah. That would have been a devastating scenario if that would have been the case. So far, he hasn't even taken a gas yet. If he decides to go for a gasless fast expand, if he just gets a bunker on top of his ramp, bunker, supply depot, he needs a wall off, basically. That's truly what he needs. Oh, man, if he scouts this, Shy, if you scout this, you are something special, Shy. This is going to help him so much. Just throw down that bunker. Bam, throw it down.
Well, Parting has to be a little bit sad about that. Now, Parting, of course, squeezed out a victory anyways the last time, but I do have to say, Shy continues to impress. Good scouting patterns, good build orders, but here's another new map. Is Parting just way more prepared on these new maps? We'll see.
Parting probably has a crazy follow-up plan as well. Like, it wouldn't be Parting to just proxy and see where it goes. Most of the time, Parting turns this into something like, this is a horrible scenario. If you proxy as a Protoss player, this is the last thing you ever want to see. Bunker finishing up, Marine behind it. You can't touch that Marine right now. By the time that you can touch that Marine, there's going to be, the bunker will be finishing up. So,
I have seen with proxy gate attacks like this, top-end world-class Protosses leave the game in IEM tournaments before.
Me too.
I have commentated that, in fact.
I've seen one of these games.
That's true. Well,
I think that's all we have to say.
Parting not deciding to leave the game. In fact, going to continue onwards, see what he can get done. Making a stalker right now, just getting his gas.
Very important scout over here, though, for Shy, because you want to know what is the follow-up. Is he on 1 gas? If he is on 1 gas, there's a good chance it's going to be a 3 or 4 gate follow-up. Since he's got a double gas, it's much more likely that it's going to be maybe a Blink Stalker follow-up, or it's going to be a Stargate follow-up.
Yeah.
I love this. I love Rex number 2 and 3. That's just so smart. Don't be that Starboy Terran right now that goes on autopilot mode and that goes for a factory and wants to drop a Widow Mine, in the enemy middle line. And meanwhile, you have 0 units at home and you die against a 1-base play.
Yeah.
Don't be that guy. Go up to 3 Rexes. Get as many bio units out as possible. I love everything that Shy has done so far, other than the fact that he's not paying attention to his rocks right now.
You know what? I love everything that you've said so far, Rotterdam, and I think that this is a really important point because a lot of people go on autopilot. For instance, Thermal in that series, right? In one of the games that he lost, it was like just kind of going on autopilot. But here we see with Shy, and we saw in game 1 as well, it seems like he's a very reactive Terran. He's looking at how the game is and reacting to it.
He has to know that this is happening, though, because there's no way that Parting, A, doesn't have units in his main base, and B, doesn't have units protecting that pylon and that gateway. So, Shy, you have to be aware that your rocks are being broken down, but he seems confident enough that even when this is going on, he's like, well, I'm on 3 racks, I'm pumping out a lot of units. I think I'm going to be okay-ish.
He's fine for now, but Parting is going up to 4 gate blink right now, so he has to be careful about losing too many units.
Yeah, and this is very annoying, though, because this Stalker kind of reigns supreme right now. This is his playground. There are no Marauders, no concussive shells. Side blocker is going to work against Parting because he doesn't have vision over that side blocker. But this is that moment where Shy, you need a couple bunkers. You just need to buy time. You need to buy time for your Marauders, and you need to get Stim. He gets off that shield before.
He actually made a big mistake there. He stepped out of that high grass as well. Definitely quite a mistake there. Taking a lot of extra hits from those Zealots.
I'm very worried, man. I'm actually starting... Okay, I actually kind of like him taking this fight because you wanted to snipe that pylon. That is the only pylon that's going on in this map. But he's not going to get it. Okay, now things are going to get a little bit #dicey. Where are your Marauders? You have at least 1, right? So he has 1. It's a super 1-base play. If I was Shy, I would evacuate my natural.
Yes. Completely have to agree with you there. He should be pulling back right now.
I think he's going to do it, right?
When he sees this many Stalkers, he really should. But the thing is, he might lose all of those units before.
Evacuate. I think he has evacuated his natural. I think there's almost
No, he's still standing there.
Yeah, but there's no SUVs, though.
Oh, he has like a couple.
Damn it.
Well, he has some Marauders behind here now as well. That high grass, he's doing a good job using that right now.
Yeah, the side blocker is very frustrating for Parting, but it's also so risky though, because Parting blinks behind it one day, he gets a couple of free hits, but now, well, man, I actually love how Shy has been doing this. He's getting a lot of hits off, and this is very frustrating for Parting.
Really? Ooh, good targeting as well here, and the Stalkers are already blinked away here with the Marauders. He's going to kill a few of the Stalkers, but this doesn't leave him with a whole lot of units left over.
He's going to evacuate the natural now. There weren't really any SCVs anymore here. He does have bunkers, right? Yes, he has 2 bunkers over here. He still has that bunker in the front as well. He really needs to keep that bunker alive. This is very frustrating for a Terran to deal with, because you have to worry about 2 sides. Like I said, Artie McTulsa is one of the craziest maps in StarCraft 2 history.
Indeed.
Look at this silly scenario. Like, if you just tune in, you're just looking at this, you're like, bridge hat. You know that meme? The guy who normally says aliens? Then you say, bridge hat.
Okay, I like it. Well, in the meantime, right now, we do have Parting throwing up a Nexus, realizing, okay, maybe he's not going to be able to kill Shy. No! Cancels 4 sentries.
Super all-in right
Whoa. Bridgehead.
He is more all-in than I am on my average night at the roulette table.
Wow.
And I'm pretty all-in.
I know how I have been to a casino at the same time as you.
Really? Where?
In Vegas.
Really?
For IPL?
I was only at IPL 4. Oh, yeah.
No, you came to 5 at the end.
No, I wasn't at 5. I was at 4 as a fan. I didn't work then. I just came as a fan.
All right.
Yeah, that was
Never mind.
It was a rough weekend.
It was someone else. Anyways, we do have these force fields going down. Wow, pops those Marauders right out and actually saves them for the time being, but the Stalker's going to follow them right up that ramp.
There's a lot of Marauders though. I think Shy is going to be more than fine.
Yeah.
The only sad thing is he doesn't have Stim, but Marauders are so good against Stalkers.
Well, when they can shoot at him, they are.
Exactly. Man, those force fields were tricky, but now no more high ground vision. That's very important. As long as there's no high ground vision, capital Shy. Oh my god, he's so low on units. It's 9 Stalkers against 3 Marauders and 4 Marines.
This is getting pretty scary right now.
This is no more Marauders left.
Yeah, he's fighting with his SCVs. You know, very unfortunate. Shy has actually shown us he's like a really good Terran player, but
Parting just finds a way, man. It's really, he always finds a way. GG is called. Parting will win Group D at the Intel Extreme Masters in Shenzhen. Thought about expanding, then he's like, nah, really, I have a little bit of a cold. So I'm going to cancel my Nexus.
I gotta say, Rotterdam, yeah, he got right out of the group for sure, but those were some strong games right there from Shy. I feel like Shy had potential to win both games. Absolutely. It seems like he's a really strong Terran, and I really want to see him make it a round of 8.
Before we throw it over to the boys, what do you feel about the decision to go for Combat Shield over Stim? I feel that Stim is the better decision in like 99% of the scenario.
You get like 1 Stim. So yeah, no, I think Stim is the right decision. I understand the idea of combat shields because he has so many units, because he went 3 racks so quickly though.
I think he was worried about the Stargate because he scouted a lot of gas, and often it's like proxy gate into a proxy Stargate follow-up.
Maybe,
and against he saw maybe Parting against Kalazur as well. He saw the Void Race, and in those scenarios, combat shield is sometimes better because you don't really want to stim, because then your Marines are like 1 hit away from dying. So I think he misread it. I don't think he expected Blink Stalkers.
That makes sense.
Either way, the big boy, he's standing at the analysis desk with our very handsome gentleman. Pick the best host in the industry, Apollo, and my favorite translator, Chobra. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Rotterdam. Yes, indeed. We're here with the #1 host in esports and our favorite Australian commentator, Pig. What's going on, Apollo? Are you not happy?
#1, baby.
But you're like shaking it. That's Parting's part. He's like, nope, not you.
Parting's all about the twos, man. Parting's all about the twos.
Yeah, 2 times today, 1-2 matches, but going up as #1 in Group D into the quarterfinals. Of course, we talked earlier shortly, but you said you didn't want to relax too much yet, but now you're done. You know, how do you feel? I mean, do you feel a lot more confident going into the quarterfinals? 그럼 저희가 이전 인터뷰에서는 뭐 위너스 매치도 남았으니까 아직 좀 긴장을 풀면 안 될 것 같다 그렇게 말씀하셨는데 뭐 이제는 2대0으로 이겼고 뭐 8강 진출 확정됐으니까 좀 마음이 놓이세요?
근데 이거는 솔직히 당연히 올라가야 된다는 조였고 만약 제가 떨어졌다면은 정말 제 자신한테 실망을 할 것 같아서 그냥 솔직히 좀 아파도 컨디션 나빠도 올라갈 것 같긴 했었어요.
You know, Group D, let's to be honest, it was a group I should have advanced from. I shouldn't have lost. If I got eliminated in groups, I would have been very ashamed of myself. So even though I had like a bit of a headache and whatnot, I was feeling under the weather, but I came in thinking, I still need to advance. Like if I drop out here just because I have a cold, that's not good enough.
Is this, as we say in Korea, insurance? You know what I mean?
보험 드는 거냐고 이전에 그런 얘기 했었거든요.
역시 눈치가 빨라요, 눈치가.
He said, "Oh, you're a savvy guy. You know what's going on."
I understand you.
But Pig, I mean, what do you want to ask Party? He's a big boy. I mean, we have a lot to learn from him. We have a lot to learn from him in life, I think.
I think we do. I mean, Parting is a wise master of many things, but I love the pylon on Terraform with the DTs in the back of the base. I mean, there was a moment in that game where you got Factory parked at your third base, Widowmine's running into your base, and he's like, yeah, I'm just going to warp DTs across this gap. I just want to hear Parting's thoughts on that pylon spot, because that's beautiful.
그럼 저희가 이번 시리즈에서 그 첫 경기에서 그 암흑기사로 드랍해가지고 다시 좀 컴백을 한 거였잖아요.
네.
처음에 좀 어려웠는데
네.
뭐 그 맵에 대해서나 그 파일런을 거기다 그 설치할 수 있는 부분에 대해서 어떻게 생각하세요? 왜냐면 어떤 분들은 그걸 모를 때는 조금 사기라고 생각이 될 수가 있거든요.
그냥 저는 프로토스 가시니까 그냥 딱 맵만 봐도 오케이, very good place 그렇게 생각하고 그냥 거기서 가서 만드니까 되더라고요.
Well, as a Protoss god, I just look at the map. All right, there we go. I just got it down. As soon as I look at it, I know, and I tried it and it worked. So can't complain.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask a question for all the European Protoss players, including Rotterdam, because we'll put him in that bracket for now. We may change him later, because he's not really a player, is he? All Protoss players say Terran is so hard, so difficult, PVT, Imba, but you always seem to beat Terran players. This year, your record is stupid. It's like 90, 80%, super high. What is it about Terran that's so easy for you?
그러면 지금 특별히 유럽에서는 이제 프로토스 유저로서 테란전이 너무 어렵다, 테란이 사기다 그런 얘기가 많은데 최근에 특별히 올해 들어서 보면 원희삭 선수는 지금 테란전 상대로 승률이 굉장히 어마어마하거든요. 그러면 뭐 개인적으로는 테란을 어떻게 생각하는지, 그리고 테란 상대로 뭐 특별한 연습이나 준비를 하는지 궁금하네요.
일단은 테란전은 제가 깨달아가지고, 왜냐하면 움직임 같은 것도 알고 그냥 프로토스가 뭘 하면은 테란이 정말 까다로워하고 하기 싫어하는지 제가 잘 알거든요. 그거를 다른 선수들보다 더 많이 알고 있기 때문에 이렇게 승리 나오는 것 같고, 제 결정적인 이유는 프로토스 갓.
It always comes down to the fact that he's a Protoss god. I mean, we can't complain about that. But he says, I think I've just figured out better than the other Protoss players what really irks Terran players. Like what really gets on their nerves. What makes them just not enjoy playing the game anymore. I kind of get into their mindset in that sense. So I'm personally not afraid of PVTs.
Okay. I have a question.
Of course you do.
So of course I have a question. So Parting. What are we going to be doing Sunday? I mean, it's a legit question.
Yeah, what are the plans
what are we
for
doing?
Sunday?
What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, what are we going to do? We drink?
Party? Yeah.
We party?
What's
Dance, all right. Dance.
Maybe you know.
Is this how parting? Is this the parting dance? All right.
Is that a party dance?
Yes.
Parting style?
Opa parting style. There we go. Yeah, we got
Opa parting style. Yeah, let's do that. Let's sing that on Sunday.
All right, Sunday.
We need to request Gangnam Style, and every time it comes on,
play
Opa parting style.
All right, I'll make sure we could do that. I'm sure Parting can get that in Chinese for us if we go out on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got it down. But now to come a little bit back to the actual tournament before we wrap up the interview. Earlier you did say you weren't worried about anyone, but now that you're going in first place, at least the 3 players that could be coming up against you in the quarterfinals. Is there anyone you'd rather meet? Because we already know you're not afraid of any of those 3.
So TY Classic
and Uthermal.
Uthermal.
Yeah. 그러면 이제 8강전에서 정말 이제 뭐 이전에도 두려운 선수는 없다. 뭐 누굴 만나도 이길 수 있을 것 같다. 그렇게 말씀하셨는데 이제는 1위로 올라가는 걸 이제 확정됐잖아요. 그러면 그 태양 선수하고 그다음에 김도우 선수하고 유스러멀 선수 중에 특별히 더 만나고 싶은 선수는 있어요?
일단 태양이랑 제일 먼저 하고 싶고, 그 TY 선수랑 그다음에는 유스러멀 선수랑 하고 싶고, 마지막은 클래식으로 하고 싶고. 왜냐면 이유는 뭐냐면은 TY 선수가 제가 많이 이겼거든요. 그러니까 TY 선수가 저를 업그레이드 해가지고 그래서 제가 기분 좋게 할 수 있을 것 같고, 그리고 나머지 분들은 그냥
Yeah, you know, I'd prefer in order. I'd prefer TY.
Yep.
And then Euthermal and Classic. But to be honest, the only one that really matters there is TY because I've beaten him so many times. I think I would just feel really good. I think he would be a little bit afraid of me, so I can play really comfortable. After that, you know, Euthermal and Classic, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I like the confidence, you know, coming in.
Last question then. Last question. Not too silly. 2 semi-finals before in Intel Extreme Masters. Can you promise us, me, Pig, and Chobra, final this time? Promise?
So stupid question.
What?
Why?
Well, come on, tell me then. Tell me.
yeah.
Why?
I'm already champion. I will.
Oh, all right. It's not even about the
bye bye
finals.
hero?
Yes.
Bye bye hero?
Kick.
All right, hey, I look forward to that matchup if we see Party versus Hero.
Okay, thank
Party
you,
giving a
Party.
little tap for Hero, trying to take him out. All right, well, I think we've got a tournament on our hands already. Of course, we're not done yet though with the round of 16. Congratulations to Party for moving on to the quarterfinals. Thank you very much for spending time with us here on the desk. We're not done yet. We do have to find out who will move on in that second place. Who will get that last spot in the round of 16? Who gets to try one more time in the bracket stage of Intel Extreme Masters Season 10 in Shenzhen? During the break, if you have nothing else to do, I'm sure you've missed at least some of the games. Go ahead to Blaze.tv, catch those highlights so you know what you're looking forward to in the next upcoming matches.